Drafting with Numot. Alright friends, it's time for another edition of Drafting with Numot. This one is a special snow edition, in that I am snowed in. Washington State got a ton of unexpected, well maybe not unexpected, but a snowstorm, and let's just say there's a lot of snow on the ground. Anyways, here for another Ravnica Allegiance. Single elimination draft. Our rare is Thrash Threat, pretty good overall. It's not actually a fight effect on the Thrash side of things. Your creature just does damage based on its power to something else, so there's not really as much issue casting it out and having your opponent use like a pump spell in response to blow you out. Otherwise you have a 4/4 for 4, which is pretty good. Other good cards in the pack include the Combine Guildmage, the Homunculus, and the Chillbringer, but I think we're going to go ahead and just take the Thrash Threat here, the good multicolor card, and see if we can leverage that into something that resembles a good deck. Unfortunately, in this pack, we don't really have anything that's good in straight up red or green. Cindervine's not really a good main deck card. I like sideboarding it, though. A lot of good enchantments and artifacts that you want to deal with, but not something I'm going to second pick here. Best card in the pack is probably just the Grasping Thrall. Then you have things like Plied Biomancy, Plaza, Eyes Everywhere is okay. I don't mind taking the Grasping Thrall. It's, you know, second pick. Signals are more important than trying to force something, and if the best card in this pack is Grasping Thrall, then probably just going to take it. Interesting. Okay, well, looks like we might just move that over to the sideboard real quick, because we did get past a Gruel Spellbreaker and a Frenzied Erynx, which Frenzied Erynx, very, very good common. Gruel Spellbreaker is just a little bit better than the Erynx, and it is a rare. Otherwise, Open the Gates, Gruel Guildgate, a Biomancy again, and even a Beastmaster is fine if you have enough combat tricks, but this is going to be an easy 3-mana 4/4 Trampler. Sorry, Erynx. Oh, yeah. Get a 4th pick Sunder Shaman here. This card is just... I mean, sometimes you just win, honestly, if you cast this on turn 4. It's very hard to block in combat and kill unless you have a Death Toucher, as it can't be blocked by more than one creature. It can come down super early and... well, goes right on theme with what we're doing here, so pretty happy to pick that up. Homunculus and a Grotesque Demise round out this pack as the other two good cards, but pretty happy about that one. And now we have some lesser picks here. So in these situations where you don't really have a good red or green card, like Incubation's fine, Stony Strength, Footlight and Feed, all playable. I think in these situations where you have a gate that's on one of your colors, it's probably just correct to take that, as there are a lot of payoff cards. I could get like a Gatebreaker Ram, which is a green gate payoff, Gates Ablaze, and things like a Gate Colossus. So let's take the gate here and see if we can get paid off, perhaps. Similarly, just a non-color gate over a filler 2-drop. Not too many signals in this pack. I do like Fairy Duelist quite a bit, but it's a little bit far away from what we're doing. Then like a Blood Crypt. Let's just take the gate. Okay, looks like we're going to take a Rubble Belt Recluse here. Just a nice big fatty, 5 mana, 6/5. Yes, there is kind of a downside to it, obviously, but another heavy beater. If you can just hold up, you know, a combat trick or two, or you just curve out into it, it's kind of hard to beat that. So, take the Recluse. And wow, this is going to be an 8th pick Soroform hybrid, which is just one of the best 2-drops in the format. I mean, I talked about the 2/2 Feral Maka not being very good, as it's just, you know, a 2/2 for 2, but this is a 2/2 that can grow up. Can turn into a nice little 6/6, so easy pick there. Very late Combine Guildmage. This is on the wheel. This was our initial pack, and we're going to take the Titanic Brawl since it goes so well with what we already have, but very late Combine Guildmage, for sure. Overall looking very, very good. There was that one pick where I took the Grasping Thrall to stay open, but I mean, I first picked the Thrash Threat, and then, you know, 3rd pick Sunder Shaman and whatnot. 3rd pick Spellbreaker, 4th pick Sunder Shaman? In any case, some good payoff cards early on, which really made this an easy thing to just stick into. There's that Cindervines I was talking about earlier. I could also take the Spike Wheel Acrobat, another card I don't mind in the Gruel decks. I like it more in Rakdos, as your cards are, or rather your creatures in Gruel are normally pretty good already, pretty big already, so it's not necessary to have this. So go ahead and take the Cindervines for the sideboard. easy applied Biomancy, one of my favorite combat tricks in the format, and honestly, something I would splash for if the need arises. Gift of Strength, another good combat trick. Stony Strength, wield as well. Alright, we are doing real nicely here. Basically have 3 premium first pickable cards, I think. Even the Sauroform Hybrid's kind of first pickable, but 3 premium cards. You know, and then just some good combat tricks to go along with these creatures, as well as some fixing, so very good first pack for us. And excited to see what we can get here in the next pack, which is just going to be a Savage Smash. Lots of blue, white, green cards over here. I mean, very good again. Another Combine Guildmage, Sphinx of New Prov, Drake, Summary Judgment. Only card here for us really is the Savage Smash. I don't mind playing the Territorial Boar, and it is at its best in Gruel, but even still, would rather just have the very good removal spell here. And let's see. Yeah, this looks great. Good creatures, good tricks, good removal. We already have that Titanic Brawl, which costs 1 if I ever have a creature with a 1/1 counter on it, so extra value for having like Stony Strength in your deck as well. There are just a lot of random tap effects in this format too, so having something like Stony Strength can actually be a huge blowout. You know, your opponent's running Depose, Deploy, they have Chillbringers, they have Code of Restraint type effects, that kind of thing, so I think Stony Strength is one of those better main deckable combat tricks. The thing is, it is awkward with adapt creatures, right? If you put a 1/1 counter on your adapt creature before you've adapted it, well, then you're unable to do so in the future. But, yeah. Oof. Kaya's Wrath, Consume, Final Payment. Some really good black-white cards here, Orzhov cards, but we have a Rebel Vault Runner, and it's a perfectly fine card. 3/3 for 3, random upside versus decks like Orzhov that have a lot of Afterlife cards, but we just want to curve out with this deck, and I think the Rebel Vault Runner fills that need excellently. We could wheel, like, see, 1, 2, 3, 1 of 4 cards. Wouldn't mind wheeling. We follow that up with a pretty easy Skewer the Critics. The thing here is, wow. I mean, if you guys watch my last draft, you'll know the power of the Scented Guildmage. This is just one of the best uncommons in the set, really. Just so powerful, so much better than any of the other Guildmages, but only noting it because of how good it is. Skewer here for us is just great. Alright, there's no Skewer. A lot of good blue-green cards, a lot of good Simic cards here. Furled Mystic, Terramander, another Biomancy. For us, I think it's just going to be the Gate. I think the only other option would be taking the Biomancy and seeing the Splash again, but fixing's fixing. I mean, we do have Sunder Shaman in our deck, right? So can't ever be bad to take that. Ooh, alright. Now we got some considerations here, because we have like 4 or 3 even really good picks. Biogenic Upgrade, I think, is not as necessary in a Gruel deck. Just because your creatures are already so big, but it is still very potent. There's that Gates Ablaze that I was talking about earlier, taking all these gates for the payoff. And then we also have a Scorch Mark. I think I'm kind of shying away from the Gates Ablaze version. I'm not going for that Control-y route, although I think a lot of my creatures would survive it. I think I'm going to go with the Biogenic Upgrade. I think this card has high upside. You know, if it's our top-end spell, then we can kind of just curve out into it and get people. And let's take the Clamor Shaman here. Again, not at its best in Gruel. I think it's better in Rakdos, but certainly fills the curve nicely, and another one that's going to make it hard for our opponents to get back in the game. As we take another Rebel Belt Runner here. The Smeltwort Ignis is more curve filler than anything else. It's not a 2-drop I'm highly impressed with. And we're honestly planning on wheeling some of those boars anyway, so let's just take a runner. Still a pretty solid pack here. Rumbling Ruin, Titanic Brawl, Slimebind, Bladebrand, Azorius Night Arbiter. We'll take the Ruin. This is where it wants to live in a Gruel deck. I do have that Biogenic Upgrade to really go with it as well. Not amazing, but certainly fine, and I'll take it over the second Titanic Brawl. As expected, we get the boar on the wheel. In fact, there should be another boar coming around. Yep, there it is. I'm going to take that over the Wrecking Beast and the Locket. I wonder if I want to run the Tin Street Dodger in this deck too. Again, more so at home in Rakdos, but certainly something I could consider. Not really huge on Axebane Beast, though, so let's take the Wrecking Beast for sideboard. And take Deface for sideboard. Any decks that are running like High Alert might be running them. Okay, another Stony Strength we don't need, so let's take the Locket this time. Could have had 2 Goblin Gatherings, but that's not as important to me here. Alright, I think our second pack really solidified our position. We picked up some good cards, some curve fillers, and even though I think our first pack was better for us overall, this is still looking like a pretty solid Gruel deck. I'm looking for, like, you know, Zertog Goblin, just a very good Gruel uncommon, some more Soraform hybrids if possible, maybe another burn spell if I can get lucky enough. Okay. Well, we do have a Rixmati Reveler here, which is not a bad 2-drop on its own. It's just a 2/2 for 2 if you don't run the black, but you can like rummage away an extra land or whatever. I don't think you want to biogenic upgrade. Light up the stage, again, a little bit more awkward in Gruel. Still a powerful card, though. I think here I'm just going to take the Rixmati. We already have the Rakdos Guildgate if we want to, you know, randomly get some upside there. But it's just a good 2-drop. Can probably replace one of these boars. I'm not so keen on Scorchmark anyways, although it's fine, but might be able to wheel that, so. Let's take the Rixmati. That's a nice pickup of a Gate Colossus versus a Clan Guildmage. Okay, this is interesting because I think Gate Colossus is just one of the most powerful uncommons in the set. In fact, I think it's maybe the best uncommon in the set, better than most rares. But that being said, does the Clan Guildmage fit better in this deck? And even if it does, I think the Gate Colossus still gets the nod. Also, it's possible that I end up wheeling the multicolor card anyways. Okay, let's go with the Gruel Beastmaster here. I have a few tricks, not really a lot to make this great, but it does fill curve purposes, and I think it's much better than Gore Clan Wrecker. Alright, perfect. Then we got another Soraform hybrid. That's a 2-drop that can replace the boar if we need to. Another Rubble Belt, another runner, but let's take the good 2-drop. Ooh, okay, so Bullrack and Light Up a Stage now. Plenty of playables. P.O.P. Plenty of playables. Kind of want to take the Bullrack. We have the Biogenic, we have Gruel Beastmaster, we have Spellbreaker. It's really good with Adapt cards. Fills curve nicely. Man, I don't think I've ever passed so many Light Up the Stage in my life when I'm playing red, but I think that's accurate, or correct to do. Alright, these are all filler cards, so let's take another sideboard Deface. We actually could have ended up with a ton of Goblin Gatherings. Do I want to run 2 Titanic Brawls? I might do that instead of running like the Gruel Locket. Oh, and we did wheel the Clan Guildmage. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so maybe cut one of the boars now since I picked up a bunch of other good 2-drops. I still have like 4 2-drops now? 5 even? Yeah, 2 hybrids, Guildmage, Reveler, and boar, so good pack for us. 15 creatures. I wanted one more combat trick. I think the second Brawl is probably worse than like the second Gift of Strength, in all honesty. But we'll see if we can pick something up. Oh, and we wheeled a lot of the cards here. Okay, so we're going to cut the Brawl now, and we're going to take the Scorchmark. The reason is I already have like Savage Smash and a Threat, or a Thrash. So I already have a bunch of fight-style effects. And Scorchmark is just really good versus, say, Orzhov, where you can just permanently exile one of their sneaky dudes. Their afterlife dudes. Oh, we just have to pick. We just have our pick of everything, don't we? This is nice. So we look in there. Alright, pretty even split on all of our cards. So we're going to run these 3 Guild Gates. Some more playables even, but I don't think I have room for them. We're going to run these 3 guild gates, and then we get room for 14 lands, so we just go, geez, even more playables. 7-7 in favor of, oh, I guess in favor of doesn't make sense if I'm going 7-7. But it looks like we want a little bit more green than red, so I might go, I guess, 8-6. Would give me 10 green sources and 9 red. That looks great. Yeah, let's go 8-6 here. And submit this very good Gruel deck. Alright, I'm excited. This looks like a good one. Okay, here's round 1 of this Ravnica Allegiance single elimination draft. Going to be on the play in our deck, and I suppose we keep this. Would obviously prefer to have a 2-drop, but don't think you can really mulligan a hand with 3 lands, 4 spells. Even though if it's a little bit slower. So I guess we're hoping we're maybe not playing against like super Rakdos aggro. But yeah, this hand needs some help. Definitely needs some help. Alright, looks like opponent kept their 7, and let's rock and roll. Orzhov, okay. Biogenic upgrade, good with the Clan Crusher, but not exactly the card I was hoping to draw right off the bat. Opponent leading with double gate. Alright, did draw land, so that's good. Let's run out a 3-3. Plenty of annoying cards in Orzhov, though. I mean, this might be our worst matchup because they have access to so many potential Death Touchers, right? They have the 2-2 for 3, the Noxious Grudian. They have the Orzhov Enforcer. They have the Kitty Cat. Oh, but it looks like they're going to go a little bit bigger. Okay. Well, I guess I'm okay with that. So we attack for 3 and just have to pass the turn here. Not really doing much. Oh man, opponent's on the gates. They probably have a gate Colossus of their own, I would imagine. Could get our Bullrack countered here with a Quench. So instead I think I'm going to go with the hybrid. And if they try to do like a Grotesque Demise, I can Gift of Strength in response. This is also better if I just draw a land next turn. Oh, well, I guess they have a Wrath. Okay. Wrath into a Terramander, sure. Let's lead out with our 4-4. Opponent still has 5 cards in their hand. What the heck is... Oh, they're just leveling up. That's fine. We already dealt a bit of damage to them, so we don't mind racing, I think. Okay. I mean, both of my creatures are fat. We could have an issue if they start playing like Chillbringers. Wow, 5 gates already. Sphinx of New Prom, that's not a big deal. This puts me to 10, so they don't have lethal in the air next turn. Wow, and I drew a Savage Smash. I mean, I could go for lethal. I think the best play, though, might actually be to smash their Terramander here to play around Quench. They have a Slime Bind, so I can Gift of Strength it in response now and get them real good. And now they have to chump. I guess they trade with the Bullrack. Oh, what? That, I think, was a mistake on their part. They could have traded with the Bullrack. Although I guess it's not hugely relevant right now, because it already had 5 damage on it from the fight effect. So they have to find something for the Recluse to start things off. Alright, I mean, this was good. They had a Wrath, but our combat tricks really got them. What do you got here, OP? Have access to 3 cards in hand, 6 mana currently. Sphinx's Insight main phase. Okay, go to 7, play a land, have 3 mana available, and clear the mind. And we drew a land for Biogenic. Great. So we just kill him. I think their deck is scary, and we might have gotten a little bit fortunate, but so it goes sometimes. Alright, let's bring in the Sagittarius Volley for sure. Otherwise, I don't think I'm really bringing in too much. Maybe the Cindervines? I guess the Cindervines is actually a really good sideboard card versus them too. Something like Stony Strength is going to be a little bit less significant, I think. And let's see. Need to still cut 1 card here. I guess if I'm bringing in a removal spell, let's take out the Brawl, perhaps? We saw some tricks from them anyways, and if I'm bringing in another removal spell already, one that's probably better than the Brawl anyways, I think that's probably good. Legit, 3/3s for 3, just very good versus Esper too, but this is fine. Let's submit it like this. Could even bring something in like my own Gruel Locket just to get some late game action going. But all right, game 2 here. They're on the play. They kept their hand. We are gonna keep our hand as well. Turn 2 hybrid, potentially a turn 4 Sunder Shaman with, well, that mountain we just drew. Makes it easy. They probably have like Archway Angels and whatnot in their deck too. Colossus among others. I'll have to try to play around the Wrath if I can, but no guarantee I can do that, obviously. Alright. And we do have the Gate in our deck, but I don't think there is... Oops, I didn't mean to play that land. There is a reason to wait for it. Alright, they just did have a Thought Collapse, and they milled my Volley, land, and a Scorch Mark. No big deal. They are kind of far away from casting Wrath, right? They only have 2 white sources, and their only white source is also a black source. The opponent doesn't have a way to deal with Sunder Shaman, it's just going to eat their ill-gotten inheritance. As we put them to 16 here on this attack. Sunder Shaman is so freaking good. Okay, I mean, I assume they're not going to chump this Sunder Shaman. They're going to take 5 and lose their inheritance. Or if they do chump with Night Guard, that's great. Wow. That's so devastating. I almost feel bad. Okay, main phase Insight. There's a gate. So I don't think we are going to... play out our Rumbling Ruin. We're just going to attack with what we have. See if they chump our hybrid. If not, put them to 3. We do have a Skewer in our deck somewhere. Also, leveling up our hybrid means that our Rumbling Ruin is probably going to make all of our creatures unblockable next turn. Clear the mind, sure, just cycle. They need to hit like a Swamp and Wrath, I guess, otherwise they're just going to die. And that is the case. All right, easy baby GG, round 1. Let's go to round 2. Okay, here we are for the second round in this draft. We're on the draw, and our hand is pretty bad, honestly. I mean, we have a 6-drop Pump Effect, 8-drop currently, and then our first play is like a 4/4 on turn 4. I think this is honestly a mulligan. Well... This Gate Colossus just doesn't go away, but I think this is a better 5, as I have a 2-drop. I get a Scry. Any mountain unlocks our Scorch Mark, so... Gotta bottom the Sunder Shaman, unfortunately, but... A bad keep is a keep. Opponent also on the same deck, apparently. If they offer the trade, I'm going to take it. Haha, no plays from opponents. No plays from me. They missed their third land. Can I get a fourth? Beautiful. Alright, let's just play out a 3/3 Beastmaster. Oh! I did not mean to give it haste. Alright, well, opponent's still on the 2-land, nothing plan. Discarding a Chili Bringer. But we're luckily able to curve out here, play out a Bullrack. They did find their third land finally. It might be too late at this point. So awkward that I didn't give that +1/+1. And so, what are we going to do here? I think we just scorch their dude, get in for 8. And this way I can kill another creature with Thrash at the end of their turn. And that will be lethal. Alright. Well, got a little bit lucky there as I misclicked and our opponent missed too many land drops. So it looks like they're playing Teamer. A more aggro deck as they're playing both Boar and Burning Tree. I don't think that means we bring in the Sagittar's Volley though, but wouldn't be surprising for them to have multiple flyers. I think in this matchup on the draw, I want to cut the Clamsham and just bring in like either the Brush Strider of my own or another 3/3. I think the Brush Strider, just for some random life gain. Could also bring in the Acrobat, honestly, as the Acrobat trades up a lot of the time, especially in the mirror. I might do that instead of running my Rebel Belt runners too. Try it like this for game 2. Yeah, looks good there. Alright, and we are on the draw. We have a fine hand. Rakdos Guildgate into Hybrid. Very cheap curve. If we can just hit a few more lands for like a turn 4 Sunder Shaman, I'm going to feel really nice. Okay, now we just need a mountain to do so. And we're going to lead with the Boar here, as it's the creature we cared the least about, and it's the same as the Hybrid on the first few turns anyways. Okay. Do I want to just skewer the Rubble Belt? I think the answer is no, and we're just going to go ahead and play out our Brush Strider. I'll offer the trade here if the opponent wants to attack with the Rubble Belt. Okay, they were fine with that trade apparently. And an Axebane Beast, sure. Well, good news for us, we did hit that mountain on time, so we're going to play a nice little 5/5 for 4. The thing that gets me here is a Savage Smash on their Axebane Beast. But it looks like they just have a Troll, and that's good. Yeah, our Troll is so absurd. Or sorry, our Sunder Shaman is so absurd here. They can only block it with one creature, so either they're taking 5 here, or they're trying to trade with the Trollbred Guardian, and if they're doing that, I just use a Stony Strength and get them. Or Gift of Strength or whatever. And they're going for it. Alright, so let's go for the Strength. Blowout successful. And we get to play the Hybrid. So now Savage Smash on our Sunder Shaman is not a thing. As they play a Frenzied Erynx, sure. There's land number 5 for us. Can only attack for 6 here. Only 6, he says. And now we'll see the power of the sideboarded acrobat. Like I said, just trades with everything they do. Okay, 6 mana now from opponents. So they can pump up their Frenzied Erynx now to a 7 power creature, but like if they just pass the turn and their game plan is to block my Sunder Shaman with their Erynx and pump, then that's bad news bears for them. Alright, so we're going to go to combat here. We're going to attack with the Acrobat and the Shaman. Remember, Shaman can only be blocked by 1 creature, so just get that through while we can. Play out our Spellbreaker as a 4/4. And pass the turn. Okay. X-Bane for Simic Guildgate. No cards in hand. They played a Ram. And that is a game over. So I attack with everything here. And no matter what, they have to take at least 1 hit, which means I get to Gift of Strength plus finish them off with Skewer. Or just Gift, it doesn't really matter. Alright, and a quick little 2-0-4-0 from us means we'll be moving to the finals with this nice little Gruel deck. Very nice. And with a bang and a boom, we're already in the finals. Round 3 of this single elimination Ravnica Allegiance draft. On the draw with a lot of good 2-drops, but only 1 land, so let's mulligan down that to 6. There are many 1-landers that I keep with a Scribe, but this is not one of them, unfortunately, as we have a 6-drop and a very hard to cast 4-drop. Or rather, very specific mana 4-drop, so 5 we go. And we're going to have to hope. Certainly bottoming a Biogenic Upgrade. Oops, I think that went on bottom. Thank God. Accidentally put that on top, just never cast it. As far as 5s are concerned, this wasn't too bad. I mean, obviously being 2 cards down, never great, but well, we'll see what the opponent's doing since they just started off with Plains. Looks like they just drew the Guildgate. Alright. You know, given what I have in my hand, I might be able to pressure them out. If they don't have much removal, if their plan is just to play like a Ministrant here would be amazing. I get to Scorch Market, bash in for 4. Have a combat trick for, you know, the following creature, and then maybe skewer the next one. I don't know. This might work. No plays on 3. Okay. Now that's what I'm talking about. We are going to go to combat. The best case scenario would be if they have a Summary Judgment and I get to blow them out with Stony Strength. If they have Final Judgment, that's still fine too. Okay, they had a Mortify. Not much I can do about that. Did not draw a land though, but they also whiffed. As they play a Syndicate Guildmage. Which I think I Scorchmark end of turn just in case I hit an untapped land to jam the runner. That way I can preserve my curve. And even though the Scorchmark is the best card versus any Afterlife, we still have a trick and a skewer in hand, so I think this is okay. As they go for a final payment, go down to 9 life. And now what I can do here is, since I'm not doing anything with this mana anyways, make a 4/4 and bash him. Got him down to 5 with a skewer in hand. We don't need to do too much to get there. Okay, Grasping Thrall, a little bit annoying, not gonna lie. Ooh. That's interesting. So I could skewer bash for 2, but I think what I'm gonna do is just make a land of 4/4 again, and if they take it, they go down to 3, and without any more life gain, I can just skewer them for the win. Do you have another Thrall? They do, darn it. Okay. Alright, no plays from the opponent. Oh, another good draw. How do I kill him within the next few turns? I think we finally just have to play out a creature here. Let's go with the Spellbreaker. Gonna have some problems if they have any more removal. Okay, I'm at 13. What if they just have a third Grasping Thrill? Blade Juggler, alright, down to 4. Now I only need to push in 1 damage. I mean, they could have a final payment here, obviously. But I think I just go to combat. Attack with both. Because my Spellbreaker has Trample, so if they just single block it, then they take trample damage and I get to kill them. So I'm going to actually just pass priority here. And see what they do. Alright, they're at 2. Spectacle Skewer you? Is it good enough? Yeah, alright. Got him on the mulligan to 5. That feels great. Now, opponent's deck looks very good. We've only seen quality cards. Mortify is A+, Final Payment A+, Juggler, Double Grasping Throw A+. This is another matchup for the Sagittar's Volley. We saw 2 flyers. Also, it hits all of their Afterlife tokens. Now, we didn't see any Afterlife cards from them, but I guarantee you there's going to be a few. Clamsham in this one. Again, not as good because they generally have a wide array of creatures. Scorchmark, very good. I don't think I need the Biogenic upgrade here as well. I actually think the Brush Strider is another fine replacement. I'm almost wondering if I want the Cindervines too. Because often in Orzhov, they're going to have things like Ill-Gotten Inheritance. They might have Ethereal Absolution. You know, Sky Tether. So I think it's worth bringing in the Cindervines without actually having seen any of those cards. And what am I taking out as a last card? Maybe just the Boar? I don't think the Boar is all that necessary. Submit this. Go to a game 2. Let's see if we can go 3-0-6-0. This will be back-to-back 3-0-6-0s on the MTGO Traders channel. Uh-oh. Another mulligan hand by the looks of it. 4 lands I like. These 3 spells I do not, so we're going to go down to 6. Come on, deck. Alright, 5 we go. And once you're at 5, it's not correct to mulligan. I have such a low curve. If I just draw a mountain, you know, we can at least play our spells. And I agreed here. I bottomed the forest. Have to absolutely hit a mountain here. I mean, this is just what happens if you mulligan to 5. You know, your odds of winning just plummet drastically, but you gotta play to your outs. If we draw a mountain next turn, I'll rummage away the Reveler. If we don't, we'll just keep playing out our forests. And at this point, I imagine our odds of winning are, you know, 30%, something like that. Did find a target for the volley, but I'm going to save that for now. And let's just run out the Rix Maudie. I'm going to discard the Gift of Strength here. Now, this is a forced action. I cannot choose not to do this if I don't have a card in my hand. I imagine we're going to start seeing some Grasping Thralls in our future. Ooh, a Hero of Precinct 1. That's also very nice. Okay, there's a good Scorchmark target. If I hit a land here, I'm going to scorch, or mountain rather, I'm going to scorch the Ministrant and then smash the hero. I think I need to just kill the hero right now, unfortunately. And definitely offering the trade here if they want it, since we have the volley. Now, obviously that's still a great Scorch Mark target, but we have other Scorch Mark targets. Okay, Vindictive Vampire. That's also really annoying. No land. No mountain, rather. I think we're just going to pass here and volley down the messenger and their 2 tokens. I'm going to end up taking 3 damage. And then also 2 more from the vampire, but I mean, that's our out of winning this game. So I'm going to end up going to 9 as a result. They're going to go up to 23. Oish. Alright. Okay, there's one of their Grasping Thralls. I don't know what I could draw at this point, but feeling pretty dead. Guess I could draw another fight effect. Not looking ideal for us. Yep, and with that draw, I think I'll just scoop it up. Can't deal with the flyer this turn, so we're going to take at least 3 damage. I mean, I could Scorch the Spirit, but that's not good enough. I think the game plan is just to not mulligan to 5 in one of these games, and hopefully just crush them out. Yeah, let's run it back and not mulligan to 5. Sounds good. Alright, here we go. Game 3 of the finals. We're not going to mulligan to 5. We're going to keep our opening 7. It's going to be great. And we're on the play. Ready? Boom. Alright, yeah, hand's great. Got a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a burn spell. Alright, I'm down for this. I am down. Alright, now I don't want to draw any more lands for a little while, but things I would like to draw: Scorch Mark, Sunder Shaman, Gruel Spellbreaker. Yep. Good. These are all things I like. These are a few of my favorite things. Ooh, they're gonna final payment my hybrid already. Nice. Well, that's a good sign for us. Wow, they didn't even see what I was gonna do afterwards. Interesting. Maybe they have Mortify in hand too. Oh, bring to trial? Oh no, I got punished for making it a 4/4. Yikes. Okay, well they are at 15. I only have 1 creature though, so I'm hoping they don't have a removal spell for this. And yep, I think it's correct to smash here. Remember, the token cannot block my Rebel Belt Runner, so I'm going to jam the smash while I can, while I still have the creature and they don't have open mana to blow me out. Might see a Blade Juggler, might see a Grasping Thrall. There's the Blade Juggler. They go to 9. We're going to Scorch Mark that end of turn. Aw, they had a removal spell though for my Rebel Belt, so I'm going to need to draw a creature here. And that a creature is not. So we're just going to pass. Three removal spells: Final Payment, Bring to Trial, and Summary Judgment. My only 3 creatures is not ideal, obviously. Alright, well, I'm glad I held the land. Although if I draw a 6-drop now, I'm going to be very sad. And we are supposed to run out the Guild Gate. Because I have Rumbling Ruin in my deck, so I held the Mountain just because there was no downside to holding it. since we could play it untapped, but you have to run out the gate there. It looks like we're just falling too far behind. Fatty? Is there any merit to burning one of their creatures? No, not really. I think we have to wait one more turn. That's too bad. Oh well, this deck performed really, really well, even on multiple mulligans. And sometimes, you know, you draw a few more lands than spells, or you mulligan down to 5, and that's the end of that. Good deck from the opponent, though. Only quality cards from them, for sure. Yep, and that will do it. Even if I kill the Grasping Tholt, they still have access to 6 damage, so GG's there. Very good deck. Unfortunately, we had to get the lower end of variance in that last game. Or, in fact, in that overall last match, but it's the way it goes sometimes. And again, I thought our deck was sweet. Performed really well in the first few matches, for sure. And even on that first mulligan to 5 in round 3, we still won that game. Unfortunately, we needed to end up mulliganing to 5 again, and then just kind of flooding there in game 3 with a very good opener. But Gruel's great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Really having fun with Ravnica Allegiance, more so than the previous Ravnica set. So look forwards to more. There will be lots of more drafts in my future. Thanks for watching, guys.